You inspire the fuck out of me. And now seeing you in your element in this insanely beautiful office in downtown is even more remarkable. But for those who don't know, you are the OG founder of True Religion, which you sold for a pretty penny back in what year?
Wow. So I want to say 2000. Oh my God, it seems like so long ago. I'm so sorry. I don't even remember the year. 2016, 2017.
2000, which is not really that long ago.
No, for about close to $1 billion.
Okay.
Yeah, which is an unfathomable number.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really is.
How did that feel?
Well, my personality is such as, okay, what's next?
So, like, you get a phone call. It's how many years in between starting True Religion?
So we started True Religion around 2001, 2002 out of our garage. And
You and your husband?
my ex-husband.
Okay.
And that's why I don't suggest people going into business with spouses or best friends. It's not conducive.
No.
It could be the demise. It does work, but it can work, but with 3 kids and a husband and working, it becomes all too much. But my ex-husband and literally became public shortly into being a small company. So we were a public company for quite some time, and then it became apparent that someone wanted to acquire it and became a non-public company. And I want to say literally within 10 years, which is a really short period of time.
Yeah. And at this point, you're living in...
Where was I living? Malibu.
You're living in Malibu.
I live in Malibu, where
Okay.
I was raised. Yeah.
And so for those who don't know as well, True Religion is like one of these OG fashion brands in terms of denim. I mean, there's Seven for All of Mankind, there's J Brand, there's True Religion. But I look at True Religion as one of the original denim brands that would really kind of shape the culture of denim and fashion.
Well, it's funny because people always say, oh, I know you from True Religion brand jeans, but I actually had 4 companies before. My expertise are knits, like sweatpants and really cool. When Juicy was around, I was doing Bella Doll. We did really cool knits. But because I wanted to do sexy knits and I wanted sexy denim, it just so happened that I was like, why can't denim be sexy? Mm-hmm. And so that's how it really came to be, and having a very specific stretch, not a legging or a jegging that they called it. So I did a lot of research in how to have denim be not denim casual Friday, but a date night denim and sexy knits. Everything can be sexy. And that's really, I think, what made it iconic.
When you spoke at like the Be Fearless Summit at Vanderbilt, which is how I first actually met you, I was beyond inspired and honored that you took the time to speak to those students. And even me, even though I didn't even go to college. So when you were growing up, were you like, I want to be an entrepreneur, this is super cool?
Well, this is a really good question. I get this a lot. I think when you want to be an entrepreneur, I think it's just ingrained in your DNA. Mm-hmm. It's like people have a certain DNA where they do crazy sports, like jump off of cliffs and do that. It's just in my DNA. My father's an attorney. My mom was a psychologist. So I always thought I was going to be an attorney.
Which is funny because like growing up in Malibu, I can't even imagine how many kids and actors and celebrities. It's the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was very artistic. Everybody had a father that really was an actor, or they get the Penns and the Lows and all these people that had, parents that were in the arts. But I didn't want to be not an actor, an attorney, or a psychologist, or something that I would be bored. I mean, I did a lot of acting because I'm an identical triplet, and we did a lot of commercials, and it's so not me. Mainly because you're not in control of your own destiny. I don't like that.
And now you very much are.
Oh, yeah.
So within 10 years, you're making denim with your now ex-husband. What was there issues like throughout that 10 years where you were like, why did I get into business with you?
Not that why did I get in business with you? It's almost why did I go into business with 3 kids? Mm-hmm. It's scary, but I don't really have a lot of fear when it comes to business. I have fear when it comes to my heart. And I've always said this because a business cannot kill you. Your heart can, a broken heart from your kids, or something that happens. But business it's always fixable.
That's true.
It's really true.
Yeah.
The people that you work with are become your family, but sometimes when you're married to that person or it's your best friend, business is a whole different animal. I don't suggest going into business with a spouse.
So he would have been then your co-founder.
Yes.
And in 10 years, did you guys start hiring employees?
Oh, within that, oh my God, we had employees right off the bat.
How did you manage to scale it so fast?
Well, I had already been in the business prior to. I had like 3 or 4 companies prior to. So I already had reps that I knew. I knew people in production. I knew people who we needed, a COO and a CFO. And I already knew that that's what you needed. And also being in business, you know what you need. If you've got your base, you know what you need on it. And if you don't have the money to do that, which we didn't, then you should know what those categories need. You may have to wear 6 hats if you can't hire somebody, but know your business. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, know your business.
And during college, you studied
business.
And do you suggest that for people who want to do what you've done? Like
I've always suggested that.
Okay, college.
Not college, because I left.
10.
I only have 2 years and I studied business, but I left.
And you told your parents that and they
didn't give a shit.
They didn't care. Okay. Kind of like mine then, yeah.
No, I don't think. Listen, I have 3 boys, 2 that have quite a few degrees just because they like that. Now, one of them has an electrical engineering business who's a well-known DJ. The other one just keeps has a master's he likes going into college. Great, getting a degree. My youngest left college. It's not for me.
Yeah.
College can be, and I don't know if I think this, but college can be life and going out to figure out what you want to do, taking courses, doing guitar classes, which my son moved to New York to become an actor, knows every single musical instrument, has a chef, is a chef, has a clothing brand.
Oh God, wow, I love this guy.
You can do whatever you want to do. It doesn't mean you need a degree.
No.
I don't, doesn't make a difference.
And a lot of people go, obviously, because they don't know what they want to do.
That's right.
So business is a general degree. Do you think then it's something, if you're someone who's like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing with my life, I kind of want to dabble in all these different things, that business is a good thing? Should it be marketing? Should it be go learn entrepreneurship? Can you learn
I don't know. It's funny. Entrepreneurship is a really weird, is a word that is thrown out a lot. Like, I think in order to be an entrepreneur, you have to do the work. You have to spend your money. You have to have those lessons, which people call mistakes. They're not mistakes. That's a life lesson that will make you not do it the next time, hopefully. But business, if you're going to do anything, learn business. Because you can do anything with business. If you're a creative person, if you want to do business, if you're a creative person, know your business. So I've always said that.
I've always been so fascinated by whether very successful founders like yourself would think that entrepreneurs are born or made. You seem very born, but is it something across the board you think that they're born? Can you make yourself into an entrepreneur? Was that always something that?
Well, I think an entrepreneur has a very specific DNA. I think that you have to have, and I say the same thing. You have to have the passion to get up every day and know that every day is going to be a different day. You're going to get a lot of no's and you are yeses.
How many do you think for True Religion? And I mean, in terms of everything, I guess sales, in terms of, I can't even press opportunities. Was there a lot? Like under 10 or over probably 100?
Well, yeah. What's interesting the business, when we started, didn't have e-commerce. We barely had, we didn't have social media. We had stylists that were considered influencers now, but the stylists would come and they would fit the actress or actor, and then they were the ones that, had the outreach, and then that's how, or Fergie put it in a song, and that's how it happened. But I think you just have to have a lot of passion, perseverance, and a tough skin.
So for those, you're right. For those who are listening and have been, say, going at something for 3 or 4 years or even 2 years and it's not this yet? What's your advice? I mean, is there a point when you're like, I'm giving up? Or do you just keep pushing if you were so obsessed with this idea?
I think obsessed isn't a word that or an ideology that should be in business. Business is very specific. You have very specific numbers. You can say, what am I doing? How much am I spending? Is this really just not fucking working? I mean, again, it's a relationship with business. It's not a relationship with a human being. It's different. It's separate. Business is business. Personal is personal. And if you cannot be obsessed with your business. You can have passion, but obsession is no.
You remind me so much of myself, and I'm 25, which is what
I know, we're
think
very similar.
So, because I am the least emotional person in business, and I find I struggle quite often working with women because I find they're so emotional, and I've always struggled with that. Even in my personal life sometimes. I mean, I always just have operated like I'm very feminine, but I always find I operate way more like a guy because I think that's just how you get further. I don't know. And I mean, it's hard for me dating, if you know anyone, but it's hard. Because I think the more emotion you have, the more you take it so seriously, you take it so personally. And you're right. I mean, there's just going to be a lot of no's and you got to get the fuck over it and move on.
Yeah, you do. It's funny because I'm 57 and you're 25. So you are very much... you're fantastic, and I'm so impressed by you. I can't believe you're only 25. And the fact that we are very similar. My ex-husband used to say, you're just a guy dressed up as a woman. Okay? But this is the thing, and I'm a huge advocate of supporting women because we can be feminine and we can be strong, but we don't have to be aggressive.
Agreed.
And I think there is no emotion necessarily in business. That's why I say take the obsession out of it, take the emotion, because your business is not going to give you a high five and a hug you at night when you're having a bad night.
No,
just not. But as women, we can come together and support each other. And the more women that are working together, because you're only as good as your team. I have mostly women on my team. We're fierce because we understand what we're going through on a monthly, daily basis.
Of course. I'm curious, how does Kim Gold hire? Like, what is your hiring style?
Really good question. I get asked this a lot. So I do mentor a lot of people. And I think what I'm looking for is passion, perseverance. It's an energy. And I've learned the energy in over 40 years I'm doing this, is how that person looks you in the eye, how they speak with you, how they speak to you, how they handle themselves under pressure. And sometimes you don't know until you know. But if you pick up on things on how they feel when they talk, and their willingness to do things over and above, that's a big thing. Because generationally now, people are not wanting to start at the bottom, they're wanting to start in the middle. And I don't know where that comes from. But I'm like, I would never ask somebody to do something that I wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
The trash, clean up the floor, clean up my own desk. It's a mutual respect. And my biggest number one thing is always talking to people with dignity and respect.
That's such an interesting point. I saw an article, like an Inc. writer was looking for founders or C-suite executives, whatever, to chime in on the fact that there's a TikTok trend called like the lazy girl worker or something. And I'm not quite sure what it is, but I noticed this throughout the years. And I've interviewed a lot of very successful VC people, someone like yourself, and they're struggling with people under 30 going and applying for jobs because I think these young people think they should already be at the top.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's it, but that's the sense that I get.
I think it's a generational thing. And I struggle with people who what I can and what I can't say, calling somebody, oh, great job, sweetie, or like even things which is it a term of endearment. I think the entitlement is an issue.
But why do you think they're entitled?
I don't know.
Is it social media?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that if you can work and make money while you're sitting at home and doing social media, then, and I hate to say this because I'm not a big fan of the Kardashians, they started that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the truth. I say it. I'm not a fan of.
Why?
Because I think that when somebody that their, momager thinks that they're the hardest working people when they're not, they're just not. They're at home telling their whole team what to do. They're not out there pounding the pavement with boots on the ground. I'm sorry. And I'm going to get a lot of flack for that. But, working is going and knocking on doors. It's talking to your customer base. It's talking to people in your brick and mortars. It's a customer service relationship business. I don't know how people have relationships on social media. I don't. It's not a personal relationship.
And that's the thing, is it's so impersonal, but people, I think, have this expectation. And I wanted to get into you with what you also said, about influencers and outreach and how people reach out to you and the company in general.
Yeah.
But there's this expectation that someone thinks they know you or they know the company when they've never met you because they've seen your articles or they've seen your videos.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they have any idea really who you are behind the scenes. So when you get outreach or when you get content creators looking for free product, I'm assuming you don't look at these emails.
I look at everything.
But you look at all of them. Oh, what does Kim Gold think?
I actually think that my team can't believe that when we're on Slack or if I answer info or there's something, I am so involved with every little thing. And it's interesting that people would think that I'm not, but I am.
Because you don't have to be. That's the expectation, that you just don't have to be.
I don't have to be, but I don't know, but I like to be because this is my last hurrah. This is a really important business. It's my baby. And I think at this point, it's my legacy. I want to leave something behind outside my kids because they're my biggest accomplishment. I think being a mother is my biggest, like raising good humans, good men, who treat women really well and are respectful.
Yeah, that's hard to do, man.
If you have your kids that want to spend and talk to you, want to work with you, and think that you're the coolest person in the world, you've done your job. I've done my job. Bye-bye. Good night. I think the most important thing is that when I do answer info. I get people reaching out. I just say, I'm sorry, it's not what we're doing because I want people to feel important. I want somebody to treat me like I treat them. And so if I'm reaching out to you, why are you not reaching back? And if somebody doesn't reach back to me, that's fine. I know not to take it personally, and I know not to have another conversation or do business with that person. So like I said, I would never ask somebody to do something that I wouldn't do. I think no matter where you are in your life, your station in life, speak with people with dignity and respect, answer an email if you can at a very reasonable amount of time, and let them know that you saw what even people now with True Religion, I say, I'm sorry, I'm not with them anymore. I can't help you. I can forward your message to the CEO, Michael Buckley of True Religion, but that's all I can do.
Yeah. So cool. So when you mentor someone, what do you think is your biggest asset that you bring as a mentor to the table?
Oh my God. I do let people know the true harsh facts of going into business. It's not glamorous. There's a lot of no's. I keep saying the same thing. I'm not looking for no. I am looking for yes. I'm going to get that yes. But if you don't have the passion and you don't have the thick skin, then don't fucking do it. Don't. It's not glamorous.
No, it's not.
I fund my own companies. If you're not willing to fund your own business and work 20 hours a day, then you're never going to get a VC. You're never going to get somebody who is going to invest, because investors want to see you doing the hard work that they may ultimately do investing in you.
Have either of these companies taken any outside VC money? True Religion or Style Union?
Style Union, no. True Religion, we became public.
Yeah. Okay. So at the beginning, though, you guys didn't go and raise a full seed.
We invested. We were $250,000 in debt.
For how long?
Forever. We were basically lost our home. We lived in a hotel with 3 kids.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Holy shit! I did not know that.
No.
Okay. Wow.
No, it was scary. We invested everything we had with 3 kids. Lived in a hotel.
And how were you paying your bills? Savings?
I don't know.
Or you still had money?
Credit card.
Okay.
My mom would able to someone help out. My mom's a psychologist, so it's like, but I didn't ask my parents because this was my doing. So everything was on credit cards. We lost the house because we didn't have 3 months of mortgage payments.
Oh my God.
And then something just finally, I said, we're going to do this. So this is what I'm saying. If you don't have a thick skin, even with 3 kids. So when I say I hear somebody the young people, 25 up to 30 and younger. I'm tired. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you tired?
Yeah.
I don't think I slept for years.
Yeah.
So put your big panties, on, big girl panties, if you want to do this. Because it's slowly but surely we would go to trade shows, and then people saw us at trade shows, and then we became public. That's how we funded the company within 3 years about that time. Because it was timing. I also believe in timing.
And back
in timing.
Yeah, and the year that you started True Religion was
2001, 2002.
Okay, that was probably when the Kardashians were first.
Yeah.
They probably wore a lot of True Religion denim.
They wore a lot of my company after I had a big thing with, it was called Baba Cool, and they wore a lot of my vests, and there was a lot of things like that. The thing about True Religion is I believe they wore them because I started the company with men's, but then I started to do women who had more bodies, voluptuous bodies, so they were higher in the back, lower in the front. And because no one was doing that, skinny girls can wear anything, but more, voluptuous or more, womanly bodies or regular bodies, where most of the world have bodies. That was an underserved market.
Did you have to sign a non-compete when you sold True? And how many years is that non-compete for?
Well, this is another thing. I gave up a shitload of money to start working with HSN. I started my own business. I said, fuck it. You're talking about $30,000 a month for 2 years, along with the other money that I closed the company with. But for 2 years, I said, you're not going to hold me hostage. I don't need this money. And that's why I sold my shares of the company. I divorced my husband, and I said, enough. If I can't live off the money that I sold the company with, it was a gotcha, like a God moment where, and I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, where I'm divorcing the company and my husband to live my life. So the $30,000 a month for 2 years is a shitload of money, but my sanity was worth more to me.
And your kids then, when you sold the company and you got divorced, were how old?
Oh, they were young. My youngest was in 3rd grade.
Oh, okay.
The others are like 4 years. So they were like, in junior high. But in order for me to divorce a company and divorce a husband, it was my choice that wasn't, my family was worth more.
Yeah.
My sanity was worth more. That's all the money is.
A lot of people say money doesn't buy happiness. But
let me tell you what money does, because I have quite a bit of it. It only gives you the opportunity to make different choices.
But did those choices impact you and the life you have always dreamed of living in a way that it's like worth struggling for 10 or 15 years to get what you've gotten?
What I think is that I've never been a person I've never gone into business to make money. It's always been the passion. And I'm very clear on that, it will come. The money will come. It's not about the money. It isn't. And I think that people go, well, you have the money now. No, I didn't always have the money.
Yeah.
I've always had the same attitude. Anybody who's known me for a gazillion years, I've always been the same. Money changes people, and most importantly, money changes the people outside your circle.
Got it.
Sorry about the construction.
It's okay. I think it's okay because these microphones are pretty good.
The thing about, so let me just go back to the money thing, because I've had a lot of conversations with people who have money, and they change. What I think it is the opportunity for people who have gained success is to pass it forward, pay it forward, pass it forward, however you want to put it.
Which you do through everything.
Got
And mentorship, everything.
Yeah.
So in between, you sell a company, and then how long until you start Style Union, and why furniture? You're not allowed to do denim ever again.
I could do denim.
Oh, you can? Okay, that's non-compete.
No, that was for 2 years.
Got it. Okay, that's not a long. I just read Bobbi Brown sold her company to Estee Lauder, and it was like a 25-year non-compete.
Yeah, but she's got her own brand now.
Yeah, but it's 25 years later, I guess.
Was it 25 years?
I watched a whole interview with her. She had a necklace that said the year that it ended.
Oh, okay. I think that I'm surprised I didn't know that about, because I buy Bobbi Brown now, the new brand. After True Religion, I started Baba Cool. and decided to sell that within 3 years, all of the retail space and the name.
Why?
Because my son was leaving high school. My mom was passing of cancer. And I thought, again, family, it's a running theme in my life, is more important.
Where?
It's like if you have this in you, you can always start it again. Yes, really matter.
Yeah.
So that was just the timing. And then I started building homes. I started producing documentaries, and then started Style Union out of my home about right at pandemic.
I mean, this showroom, this place, this is insane. You have 200 plus stores you sell this product in.
Yeah, over 200.
And you're not even open to the public, this showroom downtown.
No.
So can I ask, what is it like being an entrepreneur and being able to self-fund this idea and know that you don't have to take outside capital and whatnot? And like, if it fails, it's not failing in any capacity, but if it did, it's kind of like, all right, well, it's my own money.
Well, that hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. What I think I do, it feels really good to do something. What I'm doing now is building a community of artisans that are getting paid to also do pottery, which is a really great thing, because oftentimes people who are artisans don't, they put it on Etsy and it's great, but I'm also teaching them how to eventually have their own business.
Yeah.
It's not an easy task. This is an expensive venture. But I'm doing it, and I think that hard work never goes unnoticed. That is for sure.
What's the long-term goal with this one?
Get it acquired.
Okay. So you just like to build and sell companies.
Yeah.
And this is your last one.
My last. Everyone says, no, it's not.
What will you do?
But it is. Okay.
Relax?
So, I went to Thailand because we're having to, I hate to say this, but we're having to look outside to scale. I'm going to Portugal to do that, to scale. So maybe go to Portugal and live there for a little bit. I've got a grandchild, and do a little more traveling, but always mentor.
Got it.
Always mentor.
What is one thing that people wouldn't know about you? Not all of this, a beautiful success.
Oh my God.
Aside from that.
And I really care. I could have a tough exterior because people think I'm from New York. I'm from Malibu with a New York attitude because my family's from New York. But I really care. I care what people think, not about me, but what people think. And how can I help? Can I give you some advice? And that I really listen.
Kim, my last question for you is, what is one piece of advice that we don't hear all the time for someone who wants to be an entrepreneur but doesn't know where to start?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. Just really make sure you want to do is find the passion and know that it's going to be a struggle. It really is going to be a struggle. There's so many problems. I wake up every morning that everything can be fixed.
And I have one last. And if an influencer wants product, is there a way to get Kim Gold stamp of approval?
Just email me.
Okay. It's not easy. I can't even imagine getting an email back from you.
Why?
I don't know, because I think it's this, you don't have to.
But I do.
Yeah, I guess you do, but
why not?
I think it's because that when someone, is so successful and has all the financial means to not work, there's probably just well, why would you work? You could be in Thailand. You could be at the spa. You could be at a coffee shop.
I think if you were a true entrepreneur, like I said, it's in your DNA. You wake up with it, you go to sleep with it.
Kim, where can everyone find you on social media? I'll link this in the show notes as well. Style Union, buy the product.
Yeah, Style Union Home. info@styleunionhome.com. You can write me an email, and I also have Kim Gold Instagram. I always answer. You'll see I always answer. And if I don't, you'll tell me, I'm sure.
Kim, you're amazing. Thank you.